Happy Sunday, everyone. Crazy Jimmy here, coming at you with another video. As promised, I went to the New Hampshire record show, and here's the little pamphlet with all the shows coming up in New England. But this was the first one in New Hampshire in like 10 years, like 8 to 10 years. And it wasn't a big one. There's 40 tables, so you can imagine it's not big. And I did lead this video off with a quick hitter video of kind of how it looked inside. Certainly the turnout was amazing because it was right on the Massachusetts border, so people came up from the south, people came from the west, the east, the north, pretty much everywhere. The only complaint I have, and if anyone from who sets these shows up, the complaint I have is the aisles to be able to get through and kind of look at records on one side, and then there's people looking on the other side behind you. Way too narrow. They're like market basket aisles. I mean, these things were just too narrow. You could not fit to. I mean, basically, you were ass to ass. Excuse my French. And the issue I had with it was, and you can't really see it in the video I took, but there was a massive, you could fit like a Mack truck in behind the tables. So I'm like, guys, why don't you just push your tables back so people can shop? Because they were looking all quizzical too. And, and I finally turned to one of them and I said, look, you only got 4 tables here. Why don't I'll help you. Let's push them back. You've got all this room behind you that's not even being used, and people can't move and shop, and it's a fire hazard. And yet they basically went like this. Huh? So, yeah, it was really frustrating, and it was hard to shop. But the beauty of these in New Hampshire, these little ones, is usually you don't get your typical dealers there. So we actually had people like vendors that purchase tables that curated their collections. And that's really important when you go to these shows, is when you go to a show, a big show, and you start to see the same dealers over and over, that's a problem because, they're bringing their Led Zeppelins, their Aerosmiths and stuff like that. And you're never going to get anything decent. You just, it's more for the casual listener, not really a collector. But these little ones, especially up in New Hampshire, are great because it was about, out of the 40 tables, there was probably, 30 dealers there. But out of the 30, I would say about 20% of them curated their collections that they brought. So when you're bringing a curated collection, you're not shopping through Aerosmith and stuff like that. You're shopping through some of what I'm going to show you here today. So let's get right to it. First, I want to start off with this gem, and I'm probably going to pop it up and sell it because I bought it for the main reason I bought it was it had 2 posters in it. I know, can you believe it? The poster is what people want with this. The first UK came with a poster that's uber rare, because everyone hung it up on their wall and they damaged it or never put it back in. So out of every UK, like 1 out of every 100 has the rare poster. The beauty with this is a German first press gatefold. Look at that bad boy. And this thing is like close to near mint. I mean, this thing is beautiful. And not only that, but it's going to come with a poster, because I have 2 and I don't need 2, and so I was able to put one of the posters with my first UK, and the other poster, which has no pinholes, no holes, no rips, no tears, stunning, is going to go with this German press. So there you have it. And then here's the vinyl. The vinyl is beautiful. It's like near mint. Super, super nice. So I'm not going to be giving this thing away, but if anyone's interested in this, reach out to me. It comes with a poster. It's a rare German gatefold first press. And as everyone knows, this was not a gatefold. It was a single sleeve in the UK. So, and it even has, I think, the correct inner sleeve too. So really, really exciting find to have two posters in there. If it didn't have two posters in there, I probably still would have bought it for the one poster, and then I would have posted this without the poster, but this has the poster, so certainly reach out if interested in that, but wanted to show that. Just super excited to find that. Next up, and I've already cataloged some of these, and already bagged and tagged. Not tagged, but this is Braun Aria, and it's called The Trees and the Villages, and this is like a cold, dark wave post-punk album, and I've never seen one of these in the wild, so really cool to find this out in the wild. There's the back, but if you like your late 70s and early 80s like dark wave post-punk like I do, super awesome to find this. And there was a vendor there who curated his own stuff, and he happened to, well, it was a couple, and they happened to bring a bunch of post-punk from the 70s in, and we're selling it, and they were selling it pretty reasonably, so I was happy to take this bad boy off their hands. All right, next up, from the same vendor, an original pressing of Swell Maps. This is, what's this one called? The Trip to Marineville. Right there. There's the vinyl. And it does have the 7-inch in there, so that was cool. Sorry for the glare there. But really, really great find there. I absolutely love the Swell Maps. And, of course, he had my favorite Swell Maps album. Another original pressing. This is In Jane from Occupied Europe. This is my favorite Swell Maps album from the late 70s. Just phenomenal post-punk / art. It's kind of arty too, especially this one. There's a few soundscapes on this album that are pretty cool. So, huge Swell Maps fan here. So, please comment if you like Swell Maps. And then the last two I picked up from this vendor was Evil. I have an original pressing of Evil, but I did not have this cool pink marble, and this was a repress just a few years after the original press. So I think this is 1986, 87. This one came out in like 89, and it's got, this one has the barcode. I believe my first edition does not have the barcode, but certainly could not pass this up for the asking price. And it does have the insert as well, but I'm a sucker for old cool pink vinyl, so had to chop that up. I mean, I tell you, it really pays to be an early bird, that's for sure. Getting there really early is super key. Pay the extra money to get there, and you get stuff like this. First UK pressing in the shrink of the Sound Jeopardy. And this is on Korova Records. And this is definitely my favorite from the Sound. The one that came after this was also excellent, but this one here, I want to say it's from 79, is my very favorite from the Sound, Jeopardy. So if you like post-punk and a little bit of electronic mixed in there, you will absolutely love this. Check it out. All right, another couple that I was super excited to find. Never seen this out in the wild. Yeah, you're probably looking at it going, Pretzel Logic. Seen a million of those. Well, this is an original black label, but this is what you never see, is the hype sticker. Just killer. And I couldn't believe it. It was just sitting there. And, some vendors, they don't really know what they have. They know it's in the shrink. They know it's near mint. But they don't understand what something like this can add to the value. So, I mean, if I was to probably pop this thing on eBay right now and, it's near mint, in the shrink, gatefold with the hype sticker, I bet you this thing would sell for a couple $100. I'm not gonna sell it, but I'm just saying that's how hot rare hype stickers are. And here's the there's two more I found with hype stickers, and again I couldn't believe it. Embossed Kiss, only one pressing plant affixed the hype sticker, and it was this one here. Again, this is another one that probably sells for, I mean, uber amounts of money. But again, not a lot of dealers understand. You know, they see hype stickers, and a lot of hype stickers are kind of common, but this one is not. Same with the Steely Dan. This is from, what plant was this? You know, it's escaping me, but only one, I don't know why, but only one had the hype sticker. I'd have to do my research on it again, but I apologize, I'm not remembering, but I certainly love my hype stickers, so this is definitely going to be a forever keeper for me. Looks like one more hype sticker, another one that's kind of hard to find. Right there, Simon and Garfunkel, and this thing is really beautiful. Beautiful stereo, near mint. Super hard to find that in that condition, so gotta snap that up. All right, on we go. I did not have a stereo pressing of this. I had the mono. I do know this is like one of those duophonics, so it's probably not going to sound great, but you know what? It's in the shrink. It's near mint. Of course, I'm going to grab it. I don't have it. Yeah, it may not sound great, but you know, I'm a collector as well, so we're going to add that bad boy. It's in the shrink. We're going to add that right to the collection, so we're good there. Another in the shrink. Found this here. New Riders of the Purple Sage. Barujo is the name of it. And it was in such great shape, and for $3, you know, gotta snag it. So nothing crazy there, but embossed sleeve, $1 in the shrink. I'm gonna grab it. I didn't have it. I like this Glenn Campbell album, so as well. Wow, this was great to find. I already had this in the shrink, but this is sealed, and when I made the offer to the guy for a bunch of records, this ended up being free. So he only wanted $8 for it, and it's completely sealed, original pressing. It's got the die cut band right there that kind of pops open. So yeah, hell yeah. It ended up being free anyways because the offer I made to him just kind of chopped that price right off. All right, here's something I showed in my last video, but you never run into this in the wild, so here I am. I got a second one. It's sitting there in front of me, and I just couldn't help myself. It's a slightly different label than the one I showed on my last video, but absolutely, I mean, this is such a classic record for me. Andy Irvine and Paul Brady's 1976 classic on Mulligan. It's just such a great album. I couldn't just leave it there, so I took it. And you know what? I'm sure it would have been left there because a lot of people don't know about that album. So hopefully all of you will check it out. All right, got a few more. Some of these I took a chance on. I didn't really know who they were. I never heard it. The band Cat. And, you know, you look at it and you think, okay, that's going to be like a psych album or like a garage album, but it's really not. It was, you know, great price in the shrink. 1970s, you know, rock and pop. So it's got that like AM pop sheen to it. And I love the early 70s, so took a chance on that. It was super cheap, but never heard of Cat. I guess that's their only album, so we're going to give that a whirl. And then this band I never heard of either. I didn't have anything from them, but this is Ethos, and this is their first album. I believe this is 1976 on Capitol Records. Right there, and definitely a prog album. I haven't listened to it yet, but you can tell just by the instruments and the front cover, it looks proggy to me. in 1975, 76 is like a sweet spot for Prague. So there's that. And then this here, got from the same vendor, Dementia 13, 1987. And this is, it's called something Mirror Mind, I believe. And this is a band from Ohio. I don't really know much about them, but only 2,500 of these were pressed. And the cover was really cool. It's got like a brain and a bunch of eyes coming out of it. That's such a cool cover. And I listened to a few songs, a few snippets, and it sounded really neat. It sounded like Beavis Frond a little bit. It was definitely psych. So I said, yeah, let's grab it. It was cheap, so take a chance on that. All right, we got 3 more. Stage Fright. This is an RL, so I already had this, and I had an Ace RL, but I've never had the poster wrap. So went ahead and got that because it had the poster. And then 2 more for you. 2 more you're probably not going to care about, but I do. Paul Williams, Life Goes On, 1972 or 74. Anyways, this is notable for the song I Won't Last a Day Without You that he gave to the Carpenters, that the Carpenters turned into a #1 hit. Well, Paul Williams wrote a ton of Carpenters songs that they made a lot of money on, and there's one on this. And you know, I like early Paul Williams. I like his first like 3 or 4 albums, so no question I'm going to grab this. It's $1, so why not? Another dollar find in really great shape. Phil Collins, Hello, I Must Be Going. You know, you can't find this in near mint condition for $1, so hell, I'm going to grab it. It was in the dollar bin, first press. And I think that is it. That's it. So that's what I've got from this record show in New Hampshire. So really successful. Probably the best haul I've gotten from a record show in a long time, because, like I said, there were curated vendors there, like bringing their curated collections in to sell, or at least stuff they didn't want anymore. So those are always the best vendors to buy from. And then there were the others that I see at every single one of these that I go to that bring the same things. I literally saw the same things from these same vendors. So boring. But New Hampshire, gotta love it. There's another one coming up in New Hampshire, so definitely going to hit that one, of course. And then there's a bunch coming up in Mass. If you're in the Massachusetts area or in the New England area, the next one is going to be on, let's see, October 6th in Sturbridge, Mass. This is going to be 100 tables, so this is going to be massive. So that's like over double what I showed you on that video. And then November 10th is the Analog Fest, which combines records and video games. And that's in Marlborough, and that's going to be out 50 to 60 tables. So, and that's it for this year, it looks like, in the New England, well, at least in the Boston area. I'm sure there's others that I did mention. But anyways, thanks for watching. Appreciate you guys. If you like what you see in here, please hit the notification bell, subscribe, comment, all that good stuff. Take care.